Hey, what's going on? Welcome to Wild Finds, where I search thrift stores for media items. Here at this next spot, it's still 10 minutes before they open. We've already got people camped out waiting to get in. They're just chomping at the bit to grab those deals. I'll just sit on the bench here, wait for them to open the doors. Being the first one in there really isn't that important. I don't think they restock overnight. I just want it to be early because, you know, the earlier you start, the more you can do in the day. And it's not even that early. It's 8:50, but there was one point in time where I would have thought 8:50 was super early. Okay, thank you. You've been waiting a long time. Thank you. And here we are, off to the races.
Hey, are we still doing 50 off on electronics? Okay.
And here we are, DVDs, CDs, records, up to 5 for $1, so 20 cents each. And hopefully being early, I'll beat the other people also interested in the media, hopefully. If they even have anything worth grabbing. Not sure if they even restocked since the last time I was here about 3 weeks ago. And I'll take a quick look through these here. I'll let you know what I find. Okay, so I didn't find too much, but I'm gonna grab these right here, the P90X set. Usually I get like 12, 13 bucks, so I always try to grab those if they're cheap. The Beastie Boys License to Ill CD right there, that's a classic. This Moscow Ballet one, still brand new. That might have a little bit of resale value. Walking Tall, great movie right there. That seems a little bit hard to find. I don't see that DVD out in the wild very often. A movie I've never heard of, 1 Billion Happy People. It's seems to be a documentary put out by HBO. Yeah, kind of interesting there. Also got The Man in the Gray Flannel Suit, still brand new DVD. And Weezer Hurley in this plastic case. I don't know why people do this. Just keep it in the original case. And this is just kind of weird that it's like, it's called Hurley. It's named after this guy's character from the show Lost. Like, it's not even named after him. And I don't really remember if this album's good or not, which probably means it's not the best. Okay, so I had a bit of a flippant attitude towards this Weezer album, but I'm listening to it now, and it's actually not that bad. So I apologize, Weezer, for what I said. I'm at this gas station to get hydrated. It's very, very hot out. In Florida, you see little baby lizards all the time, but this is by far the biggest one I've ever seen. Ay, 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 that's a big boy. Now at this next spot here. And here we are. I found some interesting titles here. There's this one, Hitman's Run, which looks really low budget, but it's directed by Mark L. Lester. Who directed Commando, and he also directed one of my favorite movies called Class of 1984, which is fantastic. So maybe this is good. I'll think about this one. Also found some video games here. NBA Baller. Now, Kinect games usually aren't very valuable or very fun, so I'll probably pass on this one, but I'll think about that one. How I Met Your Mother Season 5, still brand new. Action Man. Some BBC ones. I look up the BBC ones. Sometimes they have value. And like the same with this one. Like maybe this resells. I'm not really sure. I Am Patrick Swayze. That looked kind of interesting there. This one looks really interesting. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. But it's this movie, aka Turkish Star Wars. And I heard that's a super, super cheesy movie. So I'll grab the bootleg copy of that right there. Very nice. Killer Instinct. Now I associate them with Nintendo, so it's funny to see this on Xbox One, and that's definitely a game I'll grab. I don't have Xbox One, but maybe it has a little bit of value. It actually looks like a pretty good game. Very nice, very nice. And we got a few more here. I'll check the resale value on these. But this one right here, I definitely want to check out for myself. It looks like a really good animated movie, Long Way North. I've never heard of this before, but looks pretty cool. Good find there. Race to Witch Mountain. I would want to watch this, but I heard it's not very good, but I do like the original Witch Mountain movie. And we got Rose Red, which I don't even buy anymore because they're just so common to find. There was a time where this was selling for like $15, $20. Now I don't think you can even get $5 for it, but just wanted to point that out. And at the last stop, we found the original Walking Tall. Now here's the remake, which isn't good, but I do think this is kind of a fun movie. And over here we got Dogma. That used to be valuable. Not really anymore. I think they re-released the Blu-ray. So yeah, not really worth grabbing anymore. They do have this Open Water 1, 2, and 3 though, very nice. And some video games here. And last but not least, this one looks really cool, Black Sunday. Robert Shaw, Bruce Dern. Not really sure what this is about, but it looks pretty cool. And looking these up right here, this I Am Patrick Swayze one, someone paid $100 apparently for a used one, but then someone also paid $3.98 free shipping. And then this one is $24.48. So I really have no idea how much this is worth. And I'm gonna grab these right here. Now this one sells for about $15 or $20, which is more than I thought it would, so very nice. And this one I'm gonna skip. It just has really, really bad reviews. We're gonna pop into the next thrift store over here. Bada bing, bada boom, get it done. Okay, two things I wanna point out here. Look at this, Superstar Video. So this used to be a video store. That's the return slot. Very nice, very nice. And I noticed the DVDs are on shelves now. They used to use those bins like the first store that I went to. And those are a pain in the rear ends. So very glad to see that the movies are now on shelves. This makes it much easier. It saves a lot of time. It only takes a couple minutes to realize they probably have nothing that I want to buy. And over here we have VHS and DVD sets, audiobooks. Stranger Things set. Meant to look like a VHS, but this is a DVD set. Pretty cool right there. And we got CDs over here, records. You know what? I'm impressed. I complained about the bin situation so many times, but they finally changed. And yeah, much easier to browse now. I'm probably still not going to buy anything, but you know. And at the next thrift store here. I've came here before where it was more like a consignment antique mall. I guess they changed ownership to Hope Thrift. Hope Thrift is a chain around here. The last place I went to was Hope Thrift. There's at least like 5 Hope Thrifts in my area. There's a little book corner here. DVDs. I guess this is a German release, but seems to be all region. And sometimes like opera ones are pretty valuable. Very weird display they have. This guy's waving around that sign right there. Looks like he's trying to clear out a fart. I'm gonna grab these two. This one's online. One person is asking like $150. The cheapest one though is $50. Even if it only goes for like 20, still that's a great profit. They're only $1 each. So these actually cost $2 each, but still worth grabbing. Okay, so now I'm at an antique mall in Lakeland, Florida, and sometimes I find okay things at places like this, but most of the time the prices are just so absurd you have to laugh. Like, let's look here. We got VHS The Little Vampire. How much is this one? How much do you think this one should be? The Little Vampire. It's $20. How about Beaches? One that if it was in a thrift store, it would sit there forever and never be purchased. How much is this movie right here? $8. So a little bit cheaper on the Beaches than the Little Vampire, but still like way overpriced. Dick Tracy, $15. Edward Scissorhands, that one's $20. And it's expensive to rent out a spot like this, so why even put this on your shelf? I don't picture these ever selling. And we got DVDs over here. Justin Bieber, $6. Okay, so the DVD are less expensive than the VHS. Saturday Night Live Christmas, $15. Huh. Ay. We got CDs over here. An NSYNC CD is $10. And now there's probably people watching who are like, yeah, well, you sell on eBay and your prices are expensive. My eBay prices are cheaper than the in-person prices here. What is cool about this place, though, is they have a bunch of Universal Studios props. Like here's the Rob Zombie Hillbilly Deluxe Dragula car. I don't think it's the one from the music video, but it might be. There's a bunch of other Universal props here. Obviously, they're super expensive, but, you know, kind of neat to look at. Okay, back at the thrift store here. This video is going to be a lot of short clips. I wish I could just go to every thrift store and there'd be tons of stuff, but sometimes I have to spread this over days and even weeks sometimes. But today, this is what we found. These V.C. Andrew books here, and these seem to make up the Flowers in the Attic book series here. Hopefully it's the complete set. And this is something that really wouldn't be worth selling individual, but because there's so many, a lot would probably do pretty good. And I have this country CD right here, Mickey Gilley. I looked this up, and this goes for at least $10. And then for whatever reason, Ozzy, The Ultimate Sin, this seems to be like his rarest album for whatever reason, or one of his rarest ones, where his old CDs don't really sell for that much, except for this one goes for like $30 or $40. So back at this thrift store here, and someone donated Housebroken, starring Danny DeVito. Nice, never heard of this before. Back at the thrift store here, and I found the movie Poor Things. Now, you don't find modern DVDs as often as older ones because they just don't sell as much anymore. And yeah, so I was glad to find this. Great movie. It's actually the only movie by this director that I really like. I'm not as into his other stuff. I've already seen this, obviously. It'll probably be a while before I rewatch it, but might as well grab it for $1. And today at this Goodwill bin store here, I just found a couple things, but one of the things I found here is worth about $40. And can you guess which item that is? If you said the Crow Salvation soundtrack, you'd be wrong. It's the Supergirl soundtrack. Yeah, I've just never ran into this, so I looked it up. It seems to go for about $40. Very cool, very cool. There's also the Superman soundtrack there. I have run into this, but that one goes for $10 or so. This is probably only like a $5 one or so. We also have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Next Generation, still brand new. And the back looked a little strange because it doesn't have a description of the movie, and this seems to be from Canada. So very nice right there. The to-do list, I've found this on Blu-ray a few videos back, but here's the DVD, still brand new. Very nice, very nice. And one called Bad Cop. You also got a couple t-shirts here, Star-Lord from Guardians of the Galaxy, and this one, the Lightning Bolts. Is this a Ride the Lightning shirt? Even better. SeaWorld, Ride the Whale. Now here at the Goodwill bin store this morning, and as you've seen in my videos, these bins get ransacked very quickly, but there's items here that do have some value. Like this is a $30 set, and this Paul McCartney Ram album right here. This is probably like $15, $20, and it's because they don't have barcodes that people just like throw them back. They either can't be bothered with things that don't have barcodes, or maybe Amazon doesn't allow things without barcodes. I'm not really sure, but either way, it works out for me. And speaking of things without barcodes, I'll never forget one time I was in Savers, and there was a guy with a cart overflowing with books, and he must have scanned every book in the store, but There was a Stephen King writing as Richard Bachman hardcover, just lying there that he put aside that he didn't want because he couldn't scan it. And at the time that was an $80 book, and now it's like a over $200 book. So yeah, even if something doesn't have a barcode, it doesn't mean it doesn't have value. And if anything, the opposite a lot of times, it means it has more value. They're about to put new books out here. Here they are in that bin using the trusty rake. Put them in the bin. Oh yeah. And okay, that was unfortunate. Didn't find too much. There's this Cult Revolver book from 1940. This would be worth about 40 bucks, but it's all chewed up, so I'm gonna pass on that. There's these magazines here, these music magazines. These also are in bad condition. We also got the Zelda Twilight Princess GameCube version strategy guide, but it's missing the first 6 pages. And okay, it's a new day here, back again at the Goodwill, and this time they actually brought out some movies and CDs. Very nice, very nice. And I found a few things over here, and we'll take a look at these outside. Okay, back at home now. I decided not to film in the parking lot. It was just a little bit too windy, and it's easier to record here. And I stayed at Goodwill a little bit longer and ended up grabbing some really cool stuff right here. And we'll show this. You gotta grab any Sega Genesis game. Not the best game, but Pac-Man 2, there you go. And The Sims 2 for PlayStation 2. Got a Blu-ray here, Flash Gordon, classic, awesome movie. Got Dirty Dancing, still brand new. Not sure what I'm gonna do with this, but some things I just see and I can't resist, even though I have no practical use for them. So yes, had to grab the brand new Dirty Dancing right there. Grab the Led Zeppelin, How the West Was Won. Very nice, very nice, very nice. Grab this right here, the Magic Pony. Now these kids VHS put out by these like obscure companies actually can have value. I saw that people are trying to get like $20, $30 for this. I'll put it online, I won't charge that much, and hopefully it sells, maybe 10 bucks plus shipping or so. Fantastic. Got this CD right here. This seems like a kind of rare promo item. Dinosaurs VHS, Roger Waters' The Wall VHS. Also got this movie right here I've never heard of, Prince Avalanche, with Paul Rudd, Emile Hirsch. Looks like it could be good. Survivor Series 2019. I'm not really into this era of wrestling very much, but for the price, 59 cents, had to grab it. Penetrator, obscure sci-fi novel right there. Paul Stanley's autobiography. I'm not the hugest Kiss fan or anything, but I'll probably skim through this book. I'm not really interested in like his like childhood story or like the later years, but right in the middle should be pretty interesting. And got some more CDs here. The Beatles, Rush, Moving Pictures, what a great album. Hole lived through this. I don't really like Hole, but I can't deny that that's a good album right there. Tesla, Bad Meets Evil, and that's Eminem right there, and it's put out on Shady Records. But it doesn't say that Eminem's on any of the tracks, but if he's on the cover, I'm sure he is. Him being on the cover, I'm sure helped sell this. But yeah, I've never heard of it before. Bad Meets Evil. On this anime DVD here, GTO. Or maybe it's called Great Teacher Onizuka, I'm not really sure. But looks like a pretty cool set right there. Got Playboy shorts. Things branded with the Playboy logo seem to sell halfway decent, so I always try to pick up those items. We also got an aquatic fanny pack right there. That's SeaWorld's water park. And it's actually really, really good. It has this awesome, awesome lazy river, but it's not that lazy because it goes really fast. And they recommend you wear a life vest. So you wear the life vest and you're just like floating, like going pretty fast down the rapids of the lazy river. Fun time. And this item right here I thought was pretty funny. A giant Adidas stocking. This will come in very handy for when Santa comes, because Santa's not going to come and just fill up like half a stocking. He has to load that thing. He's going to roll his eyes when he sees that for sure. Haha, Santa. And what else we got here? I thought these were kind of a unique item. We got the Rocky and Bullwinkle plushies here. Very cool, very cool. Oh, and I know these are hard to come by, the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer plushies. And they came from CVS. I'm not sure if they're like a CVS exclusive. It's still really cool. The Misfit toys right there. We got a Jawa, we got the Miami Dolphins gloves. This right here is a Zelda Link's Awakening Nintendo Switch case. I have a Switch, so that might come in handy. Very nice, very nice. The America's Funniest Home Videos hat, still brand new with tags. Awesome, awesome, awesome. We got some shirts, 9 Inch Nails, a Playboy button-up shirt from Peck Sun, very nice. We're in Florida here, so I always find Walt Disney stuff. Here's a couple of Walt Disney t-shirts. This Homegrown Epcot Flower and Garden Festival from 2020. And that festival might have been canceled, so this might be kind of hard to find. And anywho, moving along, we got some graphic novels, Neil Gaiman, The Sandman. The Sandman's okay. It's a little bit too artsy-fartsy for my taste, but it's okay. We got more graphic novels here. This is like 1950s, like romance. Very cool. Edge of the Spider-Verse. Nice, nice, nice. This Goosebumps book is hardcover, and it's 3 books in 1. I thought this was definitely a unique looking item. Some textbooks. So I kind of poke fun at the people who scan every single item in thrift stores, but with textbooks you kind of do have to scan, because who's going to know the value of every single book? There's thousands and thousands and thousands of them, and they all like seem to have like really boring titles. So I do recommend scanning textbooks, but don't waste valuable time doing so. Do it like after you've browsed. And finally, we have these right here. Grab some laser discs, Ghostbusters 2, Major League, Star Trek, Air America, and a couple albums here. Peter, Paul, and Mary, Moving. Now, this wouldn't really be anything special, except for this is promo, not for resale labeled one. So that could have value. Very nice, very nice. And I thought this Black Sabbath album seemed kind of obscure. I've never seen this before. Unfortunately, it's scratched to all heck. Really, really bad, but you know, someone might want it just for the cover, so I had to grab that one. Oh, and something I wanted to talk about, and you would notice if you hang out at enough Goodwill bin stores, is the young t-shirt hipsters love anything that's old, regardless of what it is or how tacky it might be. Like, they'll wear like bare naked ladies t-shirts just because it's from the 90s. Like, there's no way they listen to that band. And also, I can't believe this, it's shocking in fact, Jnco jeans are now back in style. Amongst a very small portion of people, but yeah, and Jnco jeans are those big like barrel-legged jeans that were popular for like 15 months in like 1998, 99, maybe a little bit into the year 2000. But yes, I never thought those would come back into style. They do say though that styles like come back around every 25 years or so. So if you have some skinny jeans in your closet, hold on to those, because in a few years, those might be collector's items. And anyways, yes, so the people with the Jnco jeans, I even saw people wearing Jnco style sweatpants. And that should be outlawed. Okay, that's gonna do it for this video. I do appreciate you watching. Go ahead, like, subscribe, leave me a comment, and I'll see you next time around.